Hey guys, Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. Today I've got a fun fold card for you featuring the Love of Leaves bundle. I love this bundle. This is a distinctive 11-piece stamp set. Has this awesome leaf set. They're just really cool shapes and they have this fun distinctive impression. Isn't that cool? You can bundle Love of Leaves with the Stitched Leaves dies, which cuts out the distinctive image and stitches it all in one pass if you want it to. And you save 10% on both items when you bundle them together. So let's start with our cool fun folds here. We need 2 pieces of cinnamon cider cardstock. We've got one that's 5.5 by 4.25, and we've got another piece that is 9 inches by 3.25, and we've scored this one at 4.5. So let's pop it in on the 9-inch side, and you're going to score right down the center at 4.5. So this is our fun fold. It gives us this very cool kind of surprise opening. All right, let me grab a bone folder and we'll work our scores on our little kind of mini card. But on our background, we're gonna do a really cool embossing technique. So you can see this great wood grain texture that we have going on in the background. We're gonna do like a faux letterpress. Got my pine wood planks embossing folder here and cinnamon cider ink. We're gonna ink the inside of this folder. We're just going to take the ink pad straight to the inside of the folder, and we are going to ink it up like you would ink up a stamp, just to really get some good full coverage. This will rinse right out with water, cool water. You want to do it right after you run it through the machine and just clean it up real easy with a rinse. Stampin' Up ink is water-based and it'll wash right off of the folder. All right, we've got a nice inked texture here. Oh, hold on, I see a little bit of a line across the top. Now we're going to take our cinnamon cider cardstock and we're going to lay that right on our texture. Now you want to watch this because it's got a very strong vertical pattern, and we want to make sure that it ends up nice and straight. So there's our embossed folder. We close it up. We can't get ink all over anything as long as it's closed. And we're going to letterpress that using our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now I have the Pinewood planks. It's the older Stampin' Up 3D folder. So for those older folders, I'm a poet. For the older folders, you'll use number 1, your folder, and then number 3. And whenever you see that Sizzix logo on a 3D folder, that's your sandwich. Let me just give that a crank. And are you ready? When you open this up, you'll see that you have impressed that wood grain texture onto the cardstock. Isn't that cool? And this we're just gonna rinse with cool water as soon as we're done here. Now, we've got some layers that we're going to add to our card. Let's start with our cinnamon cider card. Make sure you've got it opening the right way. Our designer series paper is from the Plaid Tidings designer series paper. This is 4.25 by 3. I'm just going to adhere that right to our card front. I'm so in love with these multicolor plaids. They just make me so happy. Using them for Halloween and fall. Use them for everyday, all occasions. Valentine's Day and Christmas. There is a plaid for everything in here. All right, so there's our front, our card front. We've got our embossed background, and in between those 2 pieces, we're going to use some pretty peacock. This pretty peacock piece is 4.75 by 3.5. We're going to adhere it to our wood grain, and we're going to do that centered. Nice, even wood grain all the way around the pretty peacock. And then double, triple checking that our card opens in the right direction. Let's go ahead now and adhere the card to the base. And we'll just center that right on our pretty peacock layer. Look at how gorgeous those layers are. Let's burnish that one down. Open it up. I love it. We're gonna set that aside for just a second and let's get stamping. I'll grab our ink pads and Stampin' Pierce mat. Let's make some leaves. All right, I've got Cajun Craze, Bumblebee, and Old Olive, and then some scraps in the same colors. There's Cajun Craze and Bumblebee. I've already cut one of those leaves, and then Old Olive. And I've already cut 2 of those leaves just so the video goes a little bit quicker. So let's finish our leaves. We're gonna stamp our Cajun Craze, this big 5-leaf or 5-petal or 5-point. I don't know what you call that on a leaf. It's not petals. And we're gonna do Cajun Craze on Cajun Craze. Nice even pressure, and just let the ink transfer that distinctive impression. I love that you get the highlights and the shadows, and it leaves a really cool texture. Then our kind of long stem leaf here. Get that guy. Bumblebee on Bumblebee. And I missed the top. Let me try that again. 2 sides to every paper. Make sure I ink the top of that a little better. All right, Bumblebee on Bumblebee. Fantastic, much better impression. Then Old Olive on Old Olive. We're gonna keep on stamping here for just a minute. I'm gonna clear away these ink pads and grab some pretty peacock ink. Got our sentiment here and some crumb cake. Gonna stamp your friendship as something I know I can count on. And pretty peacock on crumb cake. Just a scrap. We're gonna punch it out with a new essential tag punch. Love that. All right, and before we go too far and put away the ink, one more little thing. Got the tiniest little scrap of Whisper White, and it literally is a scrap. This is great for using up your Whisper White scraps. I've got the Gift Bow Builder punch here. We're gonna do a little tag. I love how the little tag in the Gift Bow Builder punch complements the essential tag. Same size, a little smaller. Got that guy, and let's stamp a little heart. Getting the little heart from the Banner Year set. I love these tiny little images that could go on the tag. I can't wait to experiment with which other of these great little stamps works with the tag. There's our little heart. And we're gonna stamp that right on the tag using some Cajun Craze ink. Right, I love it. We've got some die cutting to do. Let's get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, cut out our leaves. All right, I've got my leaves here. They're set up to die cut. We're gonna go ahead and just take the outline. I've done it for these 2 already. We've got the outline die. We're gonna go ahead and lay the outline around the leaf. So the edge of the die is gonna touch the colored impression. Got a little peek hole here. We're going to check and make sure that you can see the stem, that there's ink in that hole. Then we're going to lay the little stitched die for the veins right inside. And using a little low tack tape, we'll just tape everything in place. Plate number 3 right over top. And we'll do our leaves, all 3 of these in one pass. And each of these leaves will be cut out and stitched. Pretty cool, huh? I love this bundle. All right, let's assemble our card. We're going to build kind of a leaf bouquet, a background, if you will. We're going to do some of our leaves flat, our little old olive ones. We're going to do some of our leaves on dimensionals, these bumblebee and Cajun craze. So let's get some adhesive on the back. Something to remember when you're doing this kind of card is you don't want anything to extend past this fold because it will get bent when the card gets open. So nothing extends past this fold. Let's go ahead and add our old olive leaves with some multi-purpose liquid glue. Now you can extend past the top and you can extend past the right or the bottom, but watch that left side. You want the tips of your leaves to stay clear of the fold. Then our bumblebee leaves. And those can go as far as the edge of the cinnamon cider without any worries. Same with this one. Then our beautiful Cajun craze, kind of showstopper leaf. There's our little leaf bouquet. Everything is clear of that fold. Your friendship is something I know I can count on. Let's punch that out with the Essential Tag Punch. Making sure that it doesn't go up or downhill. A little more room at the top than the bottom because we are going to punch a hole on both of our tags and tie some ribbon and twine. So we'll need a little room there so we don't cover our greeting. Got a little 1/8 inch circle punch here, and let's make these tags with a hole. Now, I've got some linen thread here, and I'm going to run just a couple of inches through our little heart tag. And then I'm going to tie the little heart to the larger greeting with a thread knot. So we've got both thread here. Now, at this point, to like give you a little extra hand, here's my trick for you. I'm going to take a little 1/2 mini dimensional, pop that on the bottom back of the tag, and you're going to adhere that so that it doesn't cover your greeting. Now that both tags are secure, you'll just tie a little thread knot. So for a thread knot, loop, and then bring the tails through the loop. Once you got your thread knot all secure, you can trim the tails. Spread that out a little bit, make it cute. Now we need a decorative bow, and I've got the braided linen trim for that. We're going to thread through that same hole, and then no anchor knot here. You'll get a nicer bow. Just trust me on this one. You're going to loop up over the top of the tag, fingertip to fingertip, and there is your pretty little bow. And if you don't tie over under like that knot first, you'll get a better, less bulky, easier to mail bow. Trim away the excess and clean up the tail. Now here, if you want to, and you really want that linen thread, that little tag loop to show, you can tuck your tail and your loop right underneath. And there's your little small tag with its little details. Just a little something. You can do that if you like to. Now let's get some dimensionals on the back of this tag and adhere it to the card. Did 2 across the bottom and then 1 kind of on the card there to support. Add that off center, a little to the right. Now it's time for our last embellishment. I love the champagne rhinestones with everything fall. It just is the perfect accent. Let's add a little sparkle to this card. I've got my take your pick tool here. I'm gonna grab one of these little larger ones, tuck it in next to the Cajun craze, a couple of little ones, kind of triangle placement is what you're looking for. And then on the opposite side of the tag, we'll tuck one in right up next to the tag, and then down from there. 5 is a great number. All right, there it is. Your friendship is something I know I can count on. Great little fun fold featuring the new Love of Leaves bundle from Stampin' Up. If you've got any questions about the project, the faux letterpress technique, if there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com and shop Stampin' Up 24/7. Buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching.